Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Jennifer McKenzie, an English teacher and a K-12 district teacher librarian for Sayusa School District in Oregon. We're going to do introductions in just a second, and this is our kickoff for our collaboration between the United States and Peru. Okay, let's see. And so the slides that are in the chat, and if you just recently joined, Anne will make sure you get what you need. So if you have any questions, put questions in the chat. And in the slide deck, most of the slides are translated in English and Spanish on each slide. And then a couple of them I had to, do separate slides. So, all right. So I'm going to do an overview real quick before we get into our introductions. So we're starting out with introductions. I will then move into just an overview of like the project and expectations. We'll then talk about our multi-genre piece of the project. We'll briefly mention our technology goals for the project. And then we'll do exit ticket and questions and all that jazz. And I do want to say that tonight, both Anne and I have time to stay on if you need us. Like I can stay until 5:30 if anyone has any questions or needs anything. So I'm going to stop my screen share so we can get everybody on camera here. And then I believe we're going to hand it off over to Dennis to lead us through introducing everybody in the room.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. Here in Peru, we are the 7 years old in the evening. And to me, it's a really pleasure to have you all here in this meeting. And we've been having some meetings with Jennifer and Anne in order to get all ready for today, because today is a very important day when all the team is going to be together, and also we are going to be talking about how we are going to lead this project all together, Peru and the United States, right? So with the first part, I would like to introduce myself. So starting the introductions, please, everyone is invited to introduce themselves. Well, I will do it in English and then Spanish, right? That's how I'm going to do it. Yeah, well, my name is Dennis Barrios, and well, I am 53 years old, and I live in Moquegua in Peru. Well, I am a former English teacher, and now I'm working on a different job. But anyway, I still like teaching. And what else? Well, I am married and I have 2 children, and well, I'm happy to be here. Mi nombre es Denis Barrios, tengo 53 años, yo vivo en Moquegua en la actualidad. Solía ser profesor de inglés, pero ahora estoy dedicado a otro tipo de actividades, pero aún me gusta enseñar inglés. Y de hecho que soy casado, tengo 2 hijos que ya son mayores, y bueno, y estoy muy feliz de estar acá con todos ustedes. Gracias, thank you. Who's next? I don't know.
Anne, you want to go next?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Actually, Jen, so did you want us to do the introductions in Spanish and English?
How about, since we've got everyone right here, I saw your note in the chat. Everyone's here on screen, so let's introduce ourselves. Dennis went, you can go next, I will go. And then everybody else, you can say hello and introduce your name and where you teach. And if you want to do it in Spanish as well, that would be awesome. So Anne, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. Hi there. My name is Anne Cummings. Hola. Me llamo Anita Cummings. Happy to see all of you tonight. I am a teacher at Brittany Woods Middle School in University City, Missouri, right outside of St. Louis border. We're in the St. Louis area. Happy to see Katie Mothersbaugh and Rubina McCadney, who are both science teachers at my school. They're going to be working with me. I had the good fortune to travel to Peru with Jennifer, where we were able to collaborate with the amazing Dennis this summer. And so this program that we're proposing for our students is an extension of that. Hello to Faustino, who is another amazing collaborating teacher with us. Good to see you here. My subject is sustainability, and I run a sustainability elective for my school, and we're working to integrate that into larger parts of our district.
Yay, thank you so much, Anne. And I'll just say a little bit more. Jen McKenzie, I got to collaborate with Dennis and Anne on a Fulbright this past summer. I'm an English teacher as well as a K-12 district teacher librarian. And in the US, a teacher librarian teaches reading, information literacy, digital citizenship, and technology integration. So that's just a little bit about me. I live in Oregon along the coast. I'm going to pass it over to Gigi Michaels, who is a former library colleague of mine. Gigi, take it away.
But before Gigi talks, sorry, Gigi. I am so excited to be here with everybody that I stopped thinking about the fact that some of our participants are very fluent Spanish speakers. And while all of them are also teachers of English, doing this bilingually at the end of a busy day, and in fact at night, because for our participants in Peru, it is 7 p.m. So I would just encourage native English speakers to slow down just the rate a little bit, just so that we're all clear and on the same page. Sorry, Gigi, thanks.
That's okay. My name is Gigi Michaels, and I do not speak Spanish, no hablo español, but I work at an elementary school library in Medford, Oregon, and I just heard about this through some of Jen's posts, so I thought I'd come in, just kind of see what everybody's saying and doing.
And then if you want to call on somebody else, we'll just popcorn this around.
Rubina?
Hello, my name is Rubina McCadney, and I am a 7th grade science teacher at Brittany Woods Middle School, where Ann Cummings teaches, and I'm also a garden facilitator. And I'm just happy to be here to learn.
Who do you want to
mother-
go to?
Katie.
Hi everyone. I'm Katie Mothersbaugh. Mi nombre es Katie Mothersbaugh. I also teach 7th grade science at Brittany Woods. So Miss McKadney and I see each other a lot. Soy una maestra de ciencia. And I'm just here to listen and see what I can do to contribute. I'll call on, is it Faustino?
Hello there, teachers. Can you hear me?
Yes, clear.
Okay, welcome. For me, it's first of all, I want to say my name. My name is Faustino Castro. Yes, of course, I'm from Peru. I live in the south of Peru, of course. The name of my town is Moquegua. Well, it's a pleasure to be in this meeting. So thank you.
Faustino, will you call on your on someone next who hasn't spoken?
Okay.
It could be Michael or Hillary or a
Yes.
person.
That's there.
Yeah, maybe Hillary. Yes. Thank you.
Hi, hola. My name is Hillary Roach. I teach 7th grade language arts in Florence, Oregon, same district as Jen. I'll try in Spanish. I don't know much Spanish, but I'll try. Mi nombre es Hillary Roach. Yo vivo en Florence, Oregon. Yo enseño inglés y en la escuela intermedia, 7º grado. I'll call on Michael.
Okay.
Yes.
My name is Michael Tumba Portilla. I work at Simon Bolivar High School in Moquegua, Peru. And I'm happy to be here to learn about this program. Thanks.
Who that is
I
that?
suppose I'm the
Yes,
next.
you are.
Hi, hello.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Dennis. And thank you for everyone for this opportunity. Is the first time I'm going to work with you. And I'm excited, yeah, because I don't know not too much about this project, but I think it's an interesting project, and I'm very happy to work with you. I'm a teacher in high school. I work with teenagers for 25 years, I think so. And these days I'm working in Santa Fortunata School, but in March, I'm going to start working with another new school. And that is for me a challenge because I'm going to work with girls and boys because I was working only with girls most of the time. And now it's a challenge for me to start working with boys and girls. And nice to meet you. I'm very excited to start to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Janet has joined us. Janet is from the core. Hello, Miss Janet. How are you? Would you please say hello to all of us? She opened the microphone. Yeah.
Hi. Good evening with everybody. Yes, I'm Janet from Coar Moquegua.
We're glad you're here. Would you be willing to say a sentence or two about what the COAR schools are for those of us in America?
Well, Coar schools are for outstanding students for different provinces and departments of Moquegua and Peru.
So American teachers, students who are identified with high mental ability in each region, a region is like one of our states, actually is given the opportunity to leave their homes and they go to wherever their region's COAR is, and they live there and receive instructions. And the COAR size is determined by sorry, Dennis, did I need to change something?
No, yes, well, yes, I was going to clarify that it's a boarding school. Yeah, as you were mentioning. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. So they actually go and live there. There's a lot of attention paid to their social emotional needs as well as their intellectual development.
Yes,
All right. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for introductions. I'm doing just a quick little time check. We're about 20 minutes in. So I've got to move you all over here. Okay. All right, so next on our agenda is we are going to talk about an overview. We're going to get into multi-genre. We'll talk about technology. And as Anne reminded me, sometimes I do tend to speak a little rapidly. So if you all don't know, this slide is all about ways in which you can use technology. And one of them is tonight in Zoom, you can turn on closed captions and set them to the other language. So at the bottom of your screen on that toolbar, if you haven't used closed captions before, you'll click that button, and then there's another link where you're going to select your language and you can set the Zoom to either English or Spanish. Anne just reminded us to pause, speak slowly, speak clearly. And Google Translate on your cell phone, even in the moment, while you're on a Zoom, can be really useful. And I also just wanted to point out that we're at 4 o'clock here in Oregon. In the central United States where Anne is, it is 6 o'clock, and in Peru, it's 7 o'clock. And one thing just for Peru, US folks that we learned in coordinating international collaborations is that some countries honor daylight savings time and others don't. So that actually threw us off in our original planning meetings, is that the US is on daylight savings and Peru isn't. So fun fact. So this is a general overview of the project. Our goal is to connect our communities first and foremost. We're gonna explore connecting through technology. We're going to create or have our students create some multi-genre writing pieces as an end product. But really the number one, first and foremost goal is that we're building really beautiful relationships. And during each teacher and student Zoom, we'll do a little bit of English-Spanish practice. We're going to be celebrating our culture. We're using technology. In the US, we call it to amplify teaching and learning and sustainability. And we hope to continue this collaboration for years to come. Our work is going to be shared globally. So we are presenting our work at a national, really it's an international conference, ISTE. It's the International Society for Technology and Education conference. And Anne, Dennis, and I collaborated in Moquegua. And when Anne and my travel group from the US came to Peru this summer, we were a group of about 20, were we not, Anne? There were about 20 of us. And we split out, like we met in Lima and got situated in Lima for about a week. And then we split out across the country. So we have some friends who are going to be in a tangent of a way joining us. We have some friends who collaborated in Huancavelica and also Chantabamba. So we're going to be sharing the work of our students from across the United States as well as from across Peru. I love to look at maps. So here's just a graphic of where we are all located. Okay. And those were the communities I just mentioned, Chantabamba, Huancavelica, and Moquegua. And for my Oregon friends, Florence, Oregon to Eugene, Oregon is like Hilo, Peru to Moquegua, Peru. So we have some very interesting similarities, like geographically, between our learning communities that we are going to explore. This is just another map of looking at this beautiful collaboration from a global scale. At any point in time, I would love you all to pause and answer questions, and Anne will stop me if we need to, but you can put questions into the chat. But this is our overall sequence of events. Okay, so we have, and I'm hoping that most of you got this information in advance. You may or may not have perused the slides. But we're really starting out with 2 teacher Zooms, one this month, one next month. And as teachers, we are going to figure out any technology kinks. We're going to do the multi-genre pieces first before we turn around and ask our students to do them. So everything is kind of laid out on this schedule, and you can you know, dig into that further if you need to. Thank you, Anne. And some really good news is that we also just received a continuation grant. So Anne and I will be traveling back to Moquegua to work with the learning community down there, July of 24. Did you have something to say, Dennis?
No, it's fine. Yes, I'm listening to you.
Okay. All right. In the long email of resources that everyone hopefully got, there was a link to join WhatsApp. So, will you raise your virtual hands? I got to open up my gallery view here a little bit. Or you can raise a virtual thumb. Have you signed up for WhatsApp? Or is this your first time using WhatsApp? I feel like many of our Peru friends are used to it. I see a thumbs
Yes,
up
ma'am.
from Gigi. That's good. Katie and Rubina. WhatsApp may be newer for our US friends. Okay. And please, anybody chime in, but WhatsApp is kind of an alternate version of texting. It's more robust, it's protected. What I have found on the coast in Oregon is that it actually you can send and receive messages better if you're in a low Wi-Fi area. But everyone will want to create a WhatsApp account and join. Once you create your account, you can click on that link. And it's good practice for us to communicate internationally using this tech tool. And we will post information there. Okay, I'm still cruising along. So this first year of the grant, we requested funds for virtual reality headsets, as well as 360 view cameras. We're gonna start with just the multi-genre pieces. We will purchase this equipment to send to Peru, at least a set or two. And the goal is that we are using technology throughout the project with our multi-genre pieces. The goal is that we will all learn to take 360 camera footage by July. And that's just a device that scans all the way around and you get those 360, videos or pictures or graphics. And then all three of our learning communities have some experience with virtual reality headsets. So the goal is that all of our students know how to access virtual reality headsets. We don't have the technology yet to create Peru, US virtual reality. Like our students don't have the capacity yet to create those things, but the technology will be coming down the road in a couple of years. Okay.
Can I
Yes.
stop and frame this?
Yep.
So what Jen has given everybody is an overview of how we see the project going. There's the timeline in English and Spanish. We've talked a little bit about technology, but everything that is left, that's sort of like the eagle eye view of the project, what's happening, what could happen. But what Jen is going to talk about next are the very specific projects that we are hoping to introduce to our students in Oregon and Moquegua and in St. Louis, so that they can start to use technology to really share their life experiences and their culture, and to really have, like, get their voices out into the world, to be seen and to see people who aren't just like them. And so we're really lucky to have a teacher librarian, Jen, on board, who's so adept with technology. The first three things that she's going to introduce now are ways that probably most of the kids are already familiar with, more than we are, but ways that we're going to ask them to begin to introduce themselves and to get to know each other. For adults, because we only have 2 meetings tonight and then one more, we're going to be giving you this almost at once. Jen's going to talk about 3 different projects. That's because we want you guys to have the opportunity to try these yourself before you ask kids to do them. But I just wanted to stop and assure you, if you didn't take a look at the project overview yet, that when it comes to working with our students, they have 4 meetings and they will only try one of these approaches at each meeting. And we will give you everything you need to provide them with the instruction. And then of course we'll have the Zoom where the kids will get all the instructions together at the same time. So I just wanted to assure you that Jen is going to move quickly because we want you to have the chance to try these out, and we only have time for 2 adult meetings. So I just wanted to put it in context, Jen.
And yeah, thank you so much for that, Anne. And please, if anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself and just ask a question, interrupt. We're sitting at about 4:30 right now. And again, Anne and I are able to stay on after 5 if anyone needs to. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the concept of multi-genre research writing, and then tell you the types of multi-genre pieces we're going to explore. So, and on the website, we will create a tab that has all of our learning standards. So we'll get your Peruvian educational learning standards, our sustainability standards, our English Common Core standards, as well as our library standards. So multi-genre research writing as an English teacher in the US, it's like an alternative way or means to demonstrate learning versus like a basic 5-paragraph essay or just written prose. And I love that we have a COAR representative here, because when I was at the one COAR that we visited in Moquegua, I was really excitedly looking over, I think it was like your upper grade level students' essays. So multi-genre writing is students need to know how to write a traditional essay, but multi-genre writing allows students to still go through the same inquiry process, still conduct research about a topic, but then they're demonstrating their learning. Instead of prose, they have all these different options. They could do a poem, they could do a recipe, they could do a magazine article, they could make a movie. So it definitely celebrates multiple intelligences. You definitely are celebrating amplifying learning with technology. It's just kind of a really cool way to do it. And I did link, I should back up and say, anytime in our slide deck, when you see a blue underlined thing, it is a hyperlink that will take you to another slide deck or resource. So Anne and I learned when we were in Moquegua that students from Moquegua love Taylor Swift, just like students in America love Taylor Swift. So I found a Taylor Swift multi-genre portfolio for you. So if you want to take a deeper look at what this concept is, you can open up that link. Again, the example is I could ask students, I want a 5-paragraph essay about Taylor Swift. Or I could say, demonstrate your learning about Taylor Swift through multi-genre writing. And then you just get more creativity, okay? Do you have any questions about multi-genre writing right now? I'm going to move into our assignments. Okay. Before I move into the actual assignment pieces, this next slide on slide 20, this is how we are going to share our pieces. So like Anne said, we're kind of giving all the adults a homework assignment by our next meeting. But again, it's no stress. No one's being graded. We just want you to be able to experience the pieces before we teach the kids how to do them. So we're going to be, at least to start, we have a collaborative slide deck. And after each genre piece, that's where you can put your work. Okay, so my slides are loading very slowly, but we'll get to it in just a minute. But one of our genre pieces is a kind eyes piece. So after the slide deck, I got to go in here and do my homework and insert my piece. Okay. Also, same thing, like here is the next slide for an about me. After that, I need to go in there and insert my piece. So we're going to use the collaborative slide deck just to collect pieces, because then they will land on this website, okay, which is under construction. Okay, I will also say on this website, Anne's website from Peru is linked, as well as my website from our experience in Peru. So there are some resources you can start looking at there. All right. Any questions about adding your stuff to the Google Slides?
Hmm.
Okay.
So Jen, to make sure that I'm clear, what you're saying is that at the first meeting, we're going to ask the kids to work together to complete the Kind Eyes assignment. At the second meeting with the kids, we're going to ask them to complete All About Me. And what you're asking the teachers to do is to go into the slides, complete the assignments for themselves as the best of their, so all of us on this Zoom, we're going to just give that a shot.
Yeah.
Just so that we've got some kind of comfort level with it. And then for next week, next time's meeting, you want us to come back and insert what we've done into our shared Google slide. Is that right?
Yes, thank you so much for clarifying. So yes, teachers, we all have some homework. Again, do what you can get done, give it a try, insert it into the slides. We're learning from each other. Thank you for that. This next slide, I created a rubric. Again, no one's being graded, but some teachers may want to assess their students. It's 100% completely up to you. The rubric is in English, and then I attempted to translate it into Spanish. It's the Spanish translation is a little clunky, so you're probably going to want to work, you know, that might need to be edited. But I also wanted to just provide Peruvian teachers an example of a rubric that we use in the United States to assess students based on a proficiency model of learning. Okay. And in the rubric, you can see what mastery looks like. And then we always tell students that really your goal is to meet. Okay, this is proficient. You meet proficiency. And then advanced and mastery are like bonus, extra, awesome. Okay, you can use that or not use it. So the genre pieces, and I'm looking at time, we're doing pretty good. It's 4:37. We have 3 genre pieces that we are going to tackle. 4. We're going over 3 of them tonight. Anne's going to do the 4th one during our February session. So the very first one, I want to say that this is a really good opportunity to invite your entire learning community in if you would like. Thank you for that, Anne, in the chat. So the idea is that, as you can see in the image, you are going to think about what our eyes look like when we are being kind and smiley. Like if everyone looks in the camera right now at everybody else on screen and everybody smile, what happens to our eyes? They get kind of crinkly and squishy. Okay, so We're going to draw eyes on a piece of cardstock. It has to be exactly 3.5 by 8.5 inches. So if you are cutting a standard 8.5 by 11, you're going to have a little bit of waste, but they have to be exact because they're all going to be collaged together and be posted at my school. It's going to be posted an art gallery at our ISTE conference. I hope to mail a chunk and have it posted in St. Louis. We'll mail a chunk of them and have them posted in Moquegua. And then they will all be like scanned and digitized as well for like a movie reel. So it's going to be a really cool project. And we have like over 1,000 participants from our library community in the state of Oregon. So I'm really excited to see what this looks like. But really the thing is you're drawing eyes. They can be your eyes. They could be any eyes. They could be it could be a realistic drawing, or it could be like a stylized, it doesn't matter. You're drawing the eyes, and on the back, you will include that highlighted information. So your name, your age, your district, where you're located, and then try to answer this question in one sentence. What is one dream you have for our world? Okay. Any questions right now about the eyes, creating the eyes, expectations? I see most people's faces. People are shaking their head. Okay. All right. I'm going to skip by this video, but I just gave you some examples of like, if you're unsure of how to teach your students how to draw eyes, you're not an art teacher, you can find anything on the internet. Here's a realistic drawing video. And then on the right, Jane Davenport is one of my favorite artists that I take online art classes from. She lives in Australia and she draws stylized faces. So that's the kind of eyes I'm going to draw. Okay. Okay, I don't need those videos to play. Okay, genre piece number 2, homework assignment number 2. You get to do an about me graphic, slide, whatever you want to create it in, but it's your chance to say a little bit about yourself. You should include your name, where you live, your family, your hobbies, your accomplishments, anything you want to share. And you can create it in any format. In the US, we have now, a lot of us have learned how to use Canva. And when we were teaching with Dennis in Moquegua, both Anne and I noticed a lot of the students were producing their cultural pieces through Canva. So again, you can use any tool you want. You can even hand draw something and take a picture of it and insert it in the slides. We did link some templates from Canva if you want to use those, you know. The sky is the limit, okay? Are there any questions right now about the multi-genre piece? Okay. All right, the third one that we're going to talk about, and we have about 15 minutes left. So I skipped by a slide at the very beginning. I'm going to actually go back to it real quick. Digital citizenship is a concept that we celebrate in the US. And Anne and I noticed when we were teaching in Peru with Dennis this summer, some students in some schools have Chromebook access and some don't, right? That's kind of how the US was before the pandemic. And having gone through the pandemic, one silver lining is that most of our students have access to Chromebooks, one-to-one Chromebook access. Part of our English Language Arts Common Core State Standards is amplifying learning with technology. We've mentioned that a couple of times. And then one fourth of my teacher librarian library and media science learning standards is digital citizenship. So being a digital citizen means not only are you kind online, are you safe online, are you protecting privacy online, but the true definition of a digital citizen is when you are using your tech powers, usually your social media powers, to like make your community around you a better place. And those of you in Peru, I'm assuming many, if not most of you know Luis. He is an author, a scholar, an editor. I have, we got to leave Peru with all of his books. He's on Facebook, he's on Instagram, he's on TikTok. All of his content is professional, it's uplifting. So he's an excellent model of digital citizenship for our students. So with our last genre piece that third genre piece that I'm sharing tonight, before I turn it over to Anne, we're asking everybody to, if you can, create a social media reel. Otherwise, you can create any kind of video. So you could record a video on your cell phone and submit an MP4. But you really want to use the power of video to highlight your community or yourself or your family, whatever you feel is vital about you that you want to share with the world. I mean, my video will probably have Florence, Oregon, and the beach, and my husband, and my dog, and my cats. And what do you think your video will have?
Well, a lot of people would expect the St. Louis Arch. Those of you who are in Peru, if you've seen the arch in, oh no, Dennis, what city? I'm blanking on where the airport is. You got your mics off.
Tacna.
Tacna, of course. So friends in Peru, if you've ever seen the Tacna Arch, we have a much bigger version of that in St. Louis. So maybe something about that. I definitely include my my students in the natural area here, our bees, our chickens. Dennis, how about you?
What should I include? Well, actually, I think well, I think there are many things that you can include in a video for a community. Well, actually, I think I need to pick out carefully, you see, because there's many things that you would like to see and observe here. And well, they are constructing another beautiful site by the river, actually. And I hope it's going to be, like beautiful enough to to start, like doing something in that space, because we need those spaces where people can get, some inspiration and trying to, like start, writing and creating things out of nature and out of places in the city. Yes, I think I would choose that one, the new building they are building. Yes.
Teachers in Peru, I'm curious, this requesting video reels, especially compilation reels, it doesn't seem like a heavy lift for your students, just based on my experience being in Moquegua. I was really impressed by how proficient your students were. Staff in America, of course, we've seen kids making TikToks and that kind of thing. But in Peru, what we saw were teachers giving assignments through WhatsApp and connecting through, G Suite and Google Docs and they really did a lot of communication back and forth where the kids were using that handheld technology on their phone really proficiently. It was very impressive. It was way more than entertainment and socializing. And I'm just curious if teachers in Peru, if there's anything you might share about your experience of kids with technology and how you think they might do with these multi-genre pieces. And it's also almost 8 o'clock in Peru, and I just put everybody on the spot, so never mind.
We've got another genre piece. Let me hand it over to Anne. And yeah, we've got about 10 minutes left. We just have one more genre piece and an exit ticket and just hanging out for questions and answers. So Anne, you're going to say a little bit about this one.
Right. So what you may have noticed in what Dennis and Jen and I have designed is a program that starts with a pretty tight focus, your eyes and what they look like when you're welcoming other people and having hopes, for the world together. We're connecting the kids that way. And then they're taking a step back and talking about themselves in the All About Me piece. The third component is the video where they're talking about, like, here I am in my context. This is where I live. This is what's important to me. And the videos are meant to be something that's not too intimidating. Most kids know how to do that and they have the tech. I am a sustainability teacher. That's where we're all in this together comes from. The sort of the main theme of this program. That's one of the basic thoughts when it comes to sustainability, education, and mindsets. So what I'd like to introduce to all of you next week is the idea of environment mapping, so that we're taking an even broader view with the kids beyond what they can just film with their cameras, and taking sort of an aerial view of where they live, what the important places are, and how they connect to it. Because as this image says in English and Spanish, nature is not a place to visit, it is home. And so we're hoping that that final piece will sort of tie everybody together, but then also pull the students into a broader understanding of how they fit in to their natural area, to their geography, and then give them the ability to share it with kids who are in two very different parts of the United States. For those of you in Peru and also in the rest of the United States, my school in St. Louis is right adjacent to a major urban area. We're technically suburban, but we're not surrounded by forests. But in Florence, Oregon, they are. So at Jen's school, it would be considered rural, right, Jen? Yeah. So we've got a little bit of everything here. And Americans, I don't mean to make you feel jealous, but the Moquegua region stretches from beautiful mountains into a river valley that becomes very fertile farmland and all the way to the Pacific Ocean. So the kids there have quite a lot to share as well. So that's it. So we'll talk about that next week or next time we meet.
I should have added a link in the survey, and maybe I'll do that in the moment while we're taking it. Again, we're trying to celebrate digital citizenship. I am all over the web with social media, and I'm an introvert. It's really weird for me to be on the internet like this, but it's my job. It is my job to model being a good digital citizen for my students. So I encourage us all to share appropriately on social media. And then we're going to do a checkout, and then we're going to take an exit ticket survey. We would love everyone to stay and finish the survey before you pop out. Anne, did you want to lead us through the verbal checkout?
Sure. And Dennis, I'm thinking that maybe you and I can do this together. Because Jen is the teacher librarian, she's covered a lot of the multi-genre pieces, but you know, and I'm an interrupter, so you've heard my voice a lot, but poor Dennis is the guy in this group, you know, with these two American women who, you know, talk. And Dennis is just incredibly filled with wisdom. So next week you're going to be, or next time you're going to be hearing more from him. But Dennis, I'm wondering if you'll do this with me in case people feel more comfortable speaking in Spanish. But we just want to close out with, I'm going to ask you just to take a look at these sentence starters and pick one. And just based on this, is there something that you wonder or that you think or that you hope regarding this experience that we're creating for our students? And if you'll take a minute and just write down your thoughts, I'm going to ask Jen then to switch us back to view with everybody's faces so we can share and see each other. So sorry, I lost him. I didn't have him memorized. Hang on just a sec. I'm going back to my slides.
I think I wonder, I think, I hope.
I wonder, I think, I hope. And so I wonder, I think, I hope. I'm putting it in the chat. And then if you would just, we'll do the same thing we did before. Will somebody share, call on somebody else? And then we'll take you to the next slide, which is an exit survey, which you can do while you're in this Zoom meeting, or you can check out and take the exit survey. But we really do want your feedback because this is a teacher collaboration and we need to really make sure we're meeting everybody's needs. Is there anybody that would volunteer to start the checkout? Thank you, Gigi. Why don't you go ahead and get us started? And so guys, you're gonna be, Dennis and Jen and I can get called on too. We're just gonna let Gigi kick it off.
Okay. Since I'm like, don't know anybody here, except for Jen, of course, but I think this is a really great idea. It fascinates me to see how kind of the collaboration of everything and the fact that it's so large of an area. So I'm really excited to participate. I know that I told Jen I would do the I thing. So I'm going to see how that works. I'm not sure about the other things, but it was really nice meeting everybody and hearing from everybody. And I think I'll pick Jen, Jennifer to go next.
Thanks, Gigi. I hope, I'm going to use the I hope sentence starter. I hope that we all become wonderful friends, not just international teaching colleagues. And I hope that our students make friends internationally as well. Like Anne mentioned, our town is really rural. Where I'm at, we're really rural. And sometimes our students and even some of our staff members don't even venture outside of Florence, Oregon. Okay, we're kind of a little isolated. So I hope that everyone's perspectives are broadened and that they make really good friends. So I am going to call on Faustino.
Yes, I'm here.
So the sentence starters are I wonder, I think, or I hope. Do you have a final reflection you'd share that start with one of those phrases?
I hope that everything is going to be okay for the next project because you have wonderful ideas to work with our students and teachers. So I think it will be a great job.
Thank you. Will you call on somebody else?
Yes. I think could be continue teacher Dennis.
Well, thank you. Well, I think that we all are going to make our best efforts in trying, like having this community work, because it is, from my point of view, it is a great chance for us as educators to start, broadening up, the borders of our students, because of students sometimes in Moquegua, some students think that, well, the world is like this, right? It's very small and things like that, and it is not, because they are always like having these chances, to meet people from other countries, like for example your schools, guys, and I think they will enjoy everything, and I think that we are going to do our best effort, to achieve our goals in this project. That's what I think. Please let me pass on Michael Tumba, please.
I think this is an interesting project. In Moquegua, we need to, in my school particularly, we need to work with this. This is going to be something good to work with them. Thanks. Now, with that.
Okay, thank you. I hope to achieve your and my expectations, and I'm sure all of us are going to do our best in this project, and I hope it will be in a good way, and we have the best products. I hope that. Thank you. And I choose Janet.
She may have stepped away. Katie, how about you?
I hope that by participating in this project, I can broaden my own horizons as well as those of my students. I think in the US, I'm kind of piggybacking off of what Dennis was saying about the students in Peru. I think in the US, we have a tendency to kind of view our world as very, very insular. We don't travel as much as people, I think, in other continents, partially because the US is so big. So I think this type of exposure to collaboration with people from a completely different hemisphere is a great opportunity, yes, for our students, but also for me as an adult to step out and kind of push myself into a new experience. So I'm trying to think who hasn't gone yet. I think I'll go with Hillary.
I think it's a great idea, and I look forward to collaborating with everyone, and I appreciate the art collaboration that I'll be doing. I'll try to translate here. Yo creo que es una buena idea y espero colaborar con todos ustedes. Gracias.
Rubina, it's just us. You want to go?
I got it, girl. I think this will really enhance our students being able to see different worlds, see how the world has really evolved, and to meet people and to talk to people and to just interact with people that they've never been able to interact with. I've never interacted with anybody from Peru before, so this is my first experience. And for me, it's going to give me I'm just excited, just to learn and to be a part of this and to get to meet a variety of people from all around the world.
Thank you. I hope that everyone understands that whatever you have to give to this project is exactly what we need. That none of this has been designed to add more to your already overflowing plate. So please, and I see Jen, I appreciate all of the encouragement there. The multi-genre pieces that we've asked you to try out are there for your comfort level so that you can take a look at them if you have time. And if you don't, then you can come back to the meeting next time and see what other people created and hear them talk about the challenges that they had. Because we're really like, it's none of this is a requirement. We're simply trying to build comfort for us as an 11-person teaching cohort, so that our students feel comfortable. And I also wanted to say that Dr. Javier Lozano is our new Spanish instructor here at Brittany Woods. His child has sports tonight and he's the basketball coach. So he will not be joining us at these meetings, but he's supporting us here as well in St. Louis. But really, truly, I hope that you leave this knowing that we're just asking you to do what you're comfortable with and what you have time for. None of this is intended to create pressure. We're just so grateful that you're here. And Jen has linked the feedback form in the meeting chat. If you guys would click on that link so that it's open before we end this, we'll also Jen, I can't remember, in the Google form, did we get everybody's email addresses?
It should automatically collect your email address. And I just added another question asking you if you're on social media to include what you're on and your handle.
So that's great. That'll help us connect, but then we will also follow up with an email. I know you guys have already received an email, hopefully with all of the links and everything, but we'll do that one more time and follow up from tonight and just answer any questions that may come up on this feedback form so that we're all on the same page.
All right. We did go about 5 minutes over. So the link is in the chat. It was also emailed to you. If you have to hop off and take off, please make sure to do that survey. Otherwise, Ann and I are going to sit here for a
I think
little
before
stretch.
moving on, Jennifer, we have Janet's message here in the chat box, which says, I hope this project can be a wonderful space to share experiences with all of you. I think she's having problems with the mic. And now she just reading this message to all of us.
Okay.
Thank you. That's the
Thank
okay. I want to verify.
Okay. Super excited to work with everybody. Take that survey and I'm going to stop the recording now.